I have so much respect for Kramnik. I would never, I would never disrespect Kramnik. I'm a huge fan.
Hello, dear chess friends. I decided to record this video because one of my recent friendly games on internet, or one and a half, all of a sudden became a topic of chess news, and I wanted to tell you my point of view. I would like to comment the first game I've played, and partly the second one as well, against Hans Niemann, and tell you what I think, my point, what was the reason of my moves, and over the board and outside of the board, and it's up to you then to decide what do you think about it. Well, to start with, I was just connected to chess.com, and it came quite a surprise for me that Hans offered me to play 3+2 Blitz. I was not aware actually that he is streaming. I thought we are just playing a game like usual on chess.com, and yeah, I wanted to give it a try because I understand that he went through a difficult period. Well, at least partly he is frankly himself responsible for all this, but I thought, okay, maybe he wants to start a new life, I would say, to start a new chapter of his life, and well, why not to give it a try, and I would be very happy if this is the case. Who knows? Yeah, I'm kind of puzzled now, I don't know. But in any case, we started to play, and then during the game there were a few, well, moments which made me kind of uncomfortable. In what sense? That it was so unusual the way Hans was playing, in the sense of some moves, but especially the time management. And by the way, when you play a top chess player, is experienced chess player playing, well, there are a lot of patterns yet of time management. It's quite logical that when the decision is not, it's quite difficult, yeah, it's very important decision, then people takes time, and when the move is obvious, then you play it quickly. And with Hans, I mean, in this particular game, everything was upside down. I'm going to explain you now why do I think so. And yeah, so by the end of the game, has nothing to do with the result, just that I was feeling like I'm not totally sure. Yeah, you know what I mean. It's some strange things are going on.
I think he's just so demoralized because he's losing to such an idiot like me. You know, it's just it must be embarrassing for the world champion to lose to me. I feel bad for him.
I somehow, I'm playing Blitz on internet. I like it. I play it pretty often nowadays. And I just want to enjoy, and I don't want to have some kind of experiences when I'm puzzled myself. Yeah, so I decided, well, I'm going to stop with this one game. And then actually what happened was quite simple, and much more simple than people maybe think. That then Hans, he rematched me, and I just, because usually you continue, so you say yes, you accept, and just by habit, I accept it. Then I realized, well, okay, I didn't want to play this game, but probably there is a way to abort the game somehow. I don't know how to do it, frankly. I'm a very old-fashioned person, and so I didn't want to play, as I explained already. And then I wanted also to show that, okay, I don't want to play, to make it clear to my opponent, because if I resign, that maybe he thinks that something is wrong, I push the wrong button. So I just played it f6 g5. By the way, this setup seems to be better than people think, because I managed to win the game like this. But seriously, well, okay, I thought I'm just giving him personally this message that, okay, that's enough, one game, I don't want to play anymore. Then I understood that something is cooking by the fact that already like 3 minutes after this game I started to receive a couple of insults on my mail, on my profile. So I understood, I don't know, people are getting very excited about it. By the way, actually just like 1 hour before this game, something similar happened to me, that my opponent suddenly, without any obvious reason, like on move 12 or 15 in just unclear position out of the opening, after the opening he just resigned and left. So I mean, I didn't, it's his business. Yeah, I didn't get any offended. I mean, maybe he thinks I'm cheater. Well, okay, doesn't matter. I know I'm not, but if he thinks so, it's not my problem. Maybe he just had to go somewhere. Yeah, so okay, also it's okay. So I don't actually quite understand why people take it, you know, so seriously and you know, so offensively. I mean, but in any case, I'm going to explain you now exactly. You will see what I tell you, my comments, and then it's up to you to decide who is right, who is wrong, or if anyone is wrong at all in this story. So let's go. Let me show you this game. I was playing white.
Oh yes! Wait, no, what? He accepted. Wow. This is my first time playing Kramnik in my life. Let's play his opening against him.
So I start the game with e4. Black is playing Berlin. Okay, I just decided to go for the main line for this endgame. Whatever, bishop e7. So Hans is playing the most fashionable line nowadays, so probably he knows very well the theory. Knight h4, this is the way they play. Of course, I've forgotten everything and confused everything. So h5 played instantly. Actually, that was one of the strange things that yeah, at the first part of the game, even I would say most of the game, Hans was playing incredibly fast, but for now it's okay. It's a theory. Rook a1 check, king e8, knight e2. I remember that somewhere they play knight e2, and that's all I remember. Here bishop f5 played very quickly. Also knight d4 for some reason. So now we start with this kind of strange things, strange time management. Bishop f5 was played incredibly quickly after, well, basically logical move knight d4. For some reason bishop d7, it took black I think 5 seconds for this move. I don't understand what, there is no other move obviously, yeah, because if bishop goes to another diagonal, then f4 f5 comes and it's just bad, yeah, simply bad, obviously, because if c5 there is knight b5, f5, so I don't, okay, strange, but anyway, this is just a small thing. Bishop d7, now I suppose f4, yeah, I just played quickly f4 because it's logical, and simply my plan was actually after c5 to attack the pawn, knight b3, and then to push pawn on f5. It's very important in such positions to get pawn on f5, but I totally missed that, yeah, I mean, I just took me a few seconds to play f4, that there is bishop b5, I'm actually losing exchange simply here. So then anyways, okay, doesn't matter, I played knight f3, bishop e7, now it's already clear black managed his blockade and he's doing perfectly fine. I played rook f1, maybe trying to get e6 away very quickly. I mean, bishop f5, c4, rook d8, b3, b6. Actually, I think by this moment it's already move 20, and we are definitely not in theory. Already, I think black spent just few seconds, so everything was played instantly. Okay, that's fine. I just, well, I don't like my position. Obviously, I'm not even a tiny better. I played bishop f2. Obviously, I want to get bishop h4, knight h4, something like that. I mean, here, I mean, my feeling is what I would do with black. I mean, I would play h4 just immediately. Not even because it's necessarily the only move, of course not, but anyway, black will have to do this, and why to bother with bishop h4, knight h4, but okay, for some reason here 6 seconds it took Hans to play this move, but okay, again, this is a small thing. As you see, just a strange feeling was like accumulating during the game, so it was already a bit strange why such move takes 6 seconds. But okay, I took rook d1 check, king c8. Of course, I'm not happy with the outcome of the opening. King f1, a5. Played, by the way, in 1 second, so just a tempo. a5. Well, this is the most typical plan in this position for black, and actually, seemingly, according to what Hans was doing earlier, he is very, very well aware of all the nuances of this position. Well, he did so far everything perfect, blockade on the king side, then starting his counterplay on the other side of the board, and after a5 I suddenly realized that it's pretty obvious actually for any grandmaster who is familiar with Berlin nowadays, and most of grandmasters nowadays, they know some major ideas in Berlin, that actually it would be very nice to have a4 against a5, just not to let black his counterplay on the a line, but unfortunately I realized that a4 I cannot do it because of bishop c2 here, because my pawn is hanging, and in case if I start with a move like rook d2, black can already, for instance, play a4, so that is a problem. Anyway, here I started to think, I understood my position is really not funny, I have to defend simply, so I went king e2 expecting a4. But at least I have maybe ba4, very strange way of playing, like a5, maybe I'm more or less holding here, hopefully. But now 9 seconds it took Hans to play king b7, so I guess the only reason, because there is no other logical move than whether king b7 or a4, that he was counting a4. Okay, I have to play rook d2, and frankly here playing rook d2 actually just didn't even understand what am I going to do against a4. I mean, a4, if you don't believe me, but then I'm sure any strong grandmaster will tell you that it's a move which is made automatically in this position. It's just like a basic thing that, of course, if you can open up the a line, trying at some point to enter on the a line, you're organizing counterplay on the queen side, so it's like, it's just plays in it. I would play it in half second. It's just very obvious that you should play a4. But for some reason, instantly, black plays king c6, a move which kind of puzzled me. Well, the first maybe move which was totally puzzling, because, well, I mean, first of all, king is doing nothing on c6. Secondly, it gives me a chance at least to close the flank, and I play a4. Of course, here I'm already not worse. Basically, just a draw here. So, okay, a4, I still don't understand the point of king c6, and now in, I think, like 3 seconds, Hans played king b7, again back. Of course, it's not spoiling the position for black, but it's clearly just loss of couple of tempes, and the most important, even not tempes, but the fact that I managed to stabilize my queen side, and here I still definitely don't have any objective chances to play for a win. But first of all, we are playing blitz for fun, and I just want the game to continue, because objectively what I have to do is probably just to stay, and black has also to stay. Both sides, well, there's nothing really active to do, and probably the game will end in a draw. But I decided, okay, let me try to prepare something like knight g5, some strange idea. I mean, even though it doesn't give anything, but just at least to do something active. So I played a strange move, king e3. Here, again, a very strange decision. You see what I mean, that I just get this strange feeling that by part of the play of black, it's pretty clear that first of all, he knows very well the theory. Second, he knows the typical ideas. So before move king c6, all moves were perfect and absolutely in the in the line with understanding of this Berlin endgame. Now, first of all, not playing a4 was a first very big surprise for me. And secondly, now, okay, I would say probably move like king c8 would be logical, very standard move. Hans played rook h5. I fail to understand the sense of this move. I mean, to me it's pretty clear rook is better on h8 than on h5. So why to play rook h5? I'm not threatening knight g5 in any way, because simply black can whether take on g5, whether play f6. In both situations the rook is actually totally fine. On h8 is better than on h5. So I mean, another move which I just didn't get the point. Very strange move, but of course doesn't spoil anything still. So I went rook e2, there were other options, doesn't matter, the position is about equal. Finally now king c8, and again, first of all I wanted just to play a game. Secondly, it was clear to me that black started to drift a bit. I mean, some strange moves that at the beginning I had a feeling that it's really Hans knows very well this position and is treating it extremely well. Now by last 2-3 moves I started to feel that maybe it's not the case. So let's try to confuse him. Knight g5 just to keep the game going. It doesn't really make much sense, this move, because actually it's not a great move, because of course black can take on g5 and then just put pawn on g6, bishop on e6. Basically it's simply a draw, but even better is f6, and black is doing very well here. In any case, it would have been much better for him to have rook on h8, but okay, it's already for some reason on h5. So f6, ef, bishop f6, but at least the position opens up a bit. But of course it's black is fighting for advantage, it's not white, that is obvious to me. So now I should have gone knight f3, I went knight e4, of course expecting immediate bishop d4 check. For some reason here, of course there are moves like bishop d8, but I don't, of course it's obviously strange to put bishop on d8. I mean, bishop d4 check is a move I would play instantly, it's quite obvious, yeah. But for some reason it took 11 seconds for Hans to play this move. I was puzzled why he's thinking on the most obvious move, bishop d4 check, king f3. Why I'm telling in such detail the timing, you will understand later, but all in all it's just I'm just telling how my kind of confusion was growing. Just like, okay, I haven't seen anything of this sort in my chess career, because black is playing very well. I mean, it's a very strong player is playing, but some decisions are strange and the time management is totally impossible to understand. So rook h8, this is played quickly, very good move. As I explained already, obviously rook's better placed on h8. Knight g5, I'm worse, obviously. I'm just trying to play for a draw somehow. Now actually bishop g6 was the best move, and strangely enough white's position is simply bad after bishop g6, but okay. Bishop f6 was played. Kind of strange move, I didn't get the point. I mean, I thought maybe black wants a draw. Doesn't seem like the case. We will see it very soon. But otherwise, strange move, bishop f6, because I can even play knight e4, and then black has nothing better probably than play bishop d4 back. But I didn't like bishop g6 after knight g5, so I decided not to repeat the position, not because I was playing for a win, but because, okay, I just didn't like bishop g6. So rook d2. Now, okay, why black has many ways to be better. Very strong is bishop c3, rook e2, bishop g6, again with a very difficult position for white. But bishop d7 was played 4 seconds, this move. Interesting move, kind of original also, came as a surprise to me, because bishop is very well placed on f5. So I went bishop e3, rook e8, of course black is better, there is no doubt. King f2, at least I'm just trying to hold. What I want to say is that, I mean, in this moment, black have spent, I think, only 1 minute on his clock yet. So it was very quick. In general, I mean, those moments where Hans was thinking, that were basically almost only moments where he spent time. And was a moments where at least I wouldn't have spent time. I mean, it would definitely take me longer to play some other moves he played, but there I didn't quite understand why he spent so much time. But okay, bishop f5, very good move. Not easy because bishop was actually going to c6. Now it changes the direction, going back to f5. Knight f3, bishop f5, 5 seconds. Now bishop c3, 4 seconds. Move rook d1. Okay, because if bishop c2, white has rook c1. Yeah, that is the idea. So he's not winning a pawn. Then again 4 seconds, bishop f6 back, rook d2. Now I already, of course, I'm very happy with the draw. Now, okay, a move which totally puzzled me here. Not because it's a bad move, I mean, not at all. It's just so unusual, I would say. I mean, it's a move which would never cross my mind, frankly. And I'm pretty sure that most of grandmasters, I mean strong grandmasters, would not even consider this move. Because, okay, according to engine, the best move is rook f8, gives black a huge advantage, almost winning. I don't know why, but okay, it is the case. But then the second and third line are equally actually just to play a useful move. What kind of useful move would you make in this position? Of course, king b7. I mean, it's like automatic for any strong player. It's totally automatic. For some reason, Hans played king b8. I mean, I was puzzled just trying to understand why on b8. What is at least a one single situation or profit of this move king b8? You know, compared to king b7. I mean, humanly, if you already decide to improve position of your king, I mean, 99 out of top 100 players would play king b7. I mean, why he's playing king b8? I was trying to get the point.
Chess speaks for itself.
I couldn't manage. Actually, engine is saying that they're equally second, third line, king b8, king b7. But in fact, after king b8, his next move is king b7 with black. So anyway, I mean, it's a little bit strange. I mean, it was like my feeling of, you know, some kind that I'm puzzled was growing and growing. Why king b8? Okay, because let's say if instead of if after king b8 I play knight e5, for instance, which was the best move. Anyway, black's best is king b7 now, and after king b7, white's probably best is knight e5. So, well, really strange. Why king b8? 5 seconds was spent on king b8. Well, I played rook e2, which was probably not a good move, but I started already to get so confused with everything. I mean, with some moves, especially with time management. Rook d8, 4 seconds, very good move. Basically, now I should have still played knight e5, but position is already difficult. Of course, black goes king b7. Because it's obvious he should have put the king immediately on b7. So rook d2 I played, understanding that this is completely lost, but okay, already, you know, takes, bishop c2, that's a problem, king e2, and now 8 seconds, king c8. But it would take me much less, because it's pretty obvious, just king marches to f5 and you simply, white has to resign. I mean, it's totally lost. So I decided, well, bishop f2, and by the, you know, in this moment, I think black still had like more than 1.5 minutes on his clock. So playing extremely fast in general, and it's move 45 already, by the way. And but then some really strange things started to happen. King d7, well, I decided I go knight f3. Of course it's lost, but at least it's my only chance to try to attack the pawn on h4. Bishop takes b3, this is very quickly played. King d3, bishop a4, obviously bishop takes h4. Of course, I mean, it was totally clear to me that I'm completely lost. I mean, completely lost. Now black, the simplest is bishop b2, just to keep two bishops, then bishop goes to d1 or b3, and a pawn simply is unstoppable. Well, time to resign for white. Then another very simple solution is just to play bishop c6, g4, h4, king c3, bishop e4, also resigns basically. So anything wins here. And now for next two moves, I mean, that was something where when I decided, okay, I just don't get the logic of my opponent. I don't understand what's going on. I don't understand when he thinks, why he thinks when he thinks, why he plays quick, some actually not easy moves. So okay, I don't want to play. I'm totally confused. That's why, I mean, so here for the next two moves, almost a minute was spent by black. For the first time in this game. I mean, exactly in the moment when there is basically nothing to think, it's just winning. Bishop c6 was played, not a great move, 22 seconds. That's still okay. Strange move, because of course my only response is bishop takes f6. But now that was a moment which is, again, I mean, you can put this position for any grandmaster. Well, the choice is very obvious here. I mean, well, there is bishop takes f3 or gf6. Obviously, yeah. If bishop takes f3, bishop g7, bishop g2, h4, I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, but it's totally obvious that it's a completely draw. It's just a draw, this position. Check bishop e2, for instance, f5, and black's only plan is to try to get c6, b5, but then bishop stands to f8, and it just shake hands, complete draw. And it's at the same time totally obvious that after gf, black is close to winning or winning, yeah. So there is not even a question. It's completely obvious decision to play gf6, and of course, I think for any 26 plus grandmaster, it would take a few seconds to understand. Well, there is nothing to think. gf6, of course. Here it was the moment when Hans was the longest reflection of Hans, 32 seconds. I mean, I was even thinking maybe he got disconnected. What is going on? I mean, why? There is nothing to think here. So 32 seconds, gf6 was played. Actually, now, strangely enough, after 91, white is lost, but it's not as totally lost as I thought. Anyway, I mean, like a4, I saw that bishop gets to e4, cutting the knight, and okay, c6, b5 resigns. In fact, it's not that simple, because white is, strangely enough, this position is not so easy to win. It's winning, actually. Black wins it. I analyzed it even a bit, just out of interest. I mean, my knight is cut, two pawns are going, but a3, king a2, king b3, white is trying to, okay, whatever. It's winning, but at least it was, of course, the best chance, but I thought it's totally lost already, first of all, and secondly, I was already not able to play. I mean, after all those strange reflections, you know, of my opponent, I just didn't, I got totally lost already. So I decided, okay, knight e1 is lost, at least I tried to activate my knight, but then I missed bishop e4 check. That was tactics. And if king e4, a3, just pawn promotes, and here my knight is cut, and this is completely lost, of course. So here I resign. Again, yeah, what I explain you, I mean, of course, if you are, who is listening to this video, if you are not a professional player, maybe for you it's not so obvious those things, and you can think that I'm bad loser or whatever nonsense, that yeah, that I got angry, or, well, very primitive explanation. I mean, of course, it's not the case. It's just that I'm absolutely convinced that 99% of professional players would agree with me that with this moment, that why, I mean, this time management, some moves were really, really strange. Again, it doesn't prove anything.
First of all, you know, people are absolute idiots, because the explanation I'm going to give is going to make you all the top GMs look like total idiots.
And I'm not telling you this. I'm just telling you that I simply started to have my doubts. I mean, I haven't seen anything like that before. This kind of time management, this very strange, biggest part of the game, Blake played with a lot of understanding and very, very, very good game. By the way, 92.5 or something precision, which is very high. But at the same time, 3 or 4 moves were played just simply senseless, just didn't make any sense at all. Yeah, so okay, that's why, okay, I just decided, well, for the moment I'm not sure, I'm confused. Okay, let me see what is going to happen, but in future with games of Hans, and let's see how he plays in other games. And frankly, I want to show you now another game of him. I'm getting more and more puzzled. I really don't understand, because some games he's playing extremely well, but I fall into he played 3 games in a row during one of his videos when he was streaming, and well, it was really awful. I mean, again, sorry to tell. I'm myself sometimes play very bad, and even this game was far from good for me, of course. But that was much beyond any kind of grandmaster level. Those 3 games, the average of those games was 75, and the opponent was not very strong, as you will see. So it was, well, really bad, and can be explained by different reasons. Feeling bad, I don't know, didn't have good sleep. Yeah, that can happen, even though it was really too bad, but can happen. But then just half an hour after, he played a match with a very strong player, very strong grandmaster, Van Forest, who, by the way, I think won once a main group of Vaikanze, so a very strong player, and he totally crushed him 6.5, 1.5 in 8 games, just exactly, literally half an hour after that match with 75 average. Well, basically out of 8 games, 7 were accuracy over 90. So I mean, I have never seen yet before that. It doesn't mean it's impossible, but it's really puzzling to me, because there are like few games a player plays on the level of, I would say, maximum 2400 maximum. Then just half an hour after, several games playing on the minimum to 800 level, minimum. Because I'm not sure even Magnus, okay, it wouldn't be easy even for Magnus to manage 6.5 against such a strong player like Van Forest. So I'm going to show you this game, not to make fun of Hans, not at all. I mean, that's not my cup of tea, is to make fun of my colleagues. I mean, I have enough reasons, enough games myself to be ashamed of. But I just don't understand, and maybe somebody who can explain me how it's possible. I haven't seen yet anything like that before. Again, that the level is jumping so much. There is such a big gap of levels in one day. So let's go to this game. So here is the position from one of those games. Hans is black. He's playing against a player with 2900 approximately on chess.com. Frankly, already by this move 27, well, both players made some mistakes. Of course, black is better here, much better, but it's white to play, and now white plays a move which, again, yeah, I don't think there will be too many players who would even consider this move. Rook e2. I absolutely don't know what is the point of this move, because now rook is pinned, it gives black an important tempo. Of course, yeah, by the way, at this moment both players have like 2 minutes on the clock. Of course, h4 is just crushing immediately, like winning on the spot. Not the only move which is strong, but h4 is just killing. But bishop c6 is okay. Also, of course, weaker than h4, but still, knight takes c6. Now queen d7 should have been played with a very big advantage for black, because of the e line. Yeah, the rook is pinned. If would have been on e1, then bishop takes b6 would work. But here, because of the pin, black has a big advantage. Black played instead queen a6. So now, well, obviously white has to take on a6, yeah, because rook is hanging on e2, and so take on a6, but queen c2 was played. Actually, after taking on a6 and rook d2, white should survive here somehow, I think, with a good play. But black is better. So queen c2 was played, and now, okay, like any move is winning, because even bishop takes b6 is actually not a threat, and again, black Hans has, well, more than 1.5 minutes still here. He thinks for 10 seconds and finds, of course, rook takes c6, a very simple tactics, which normally you don't need 10 seconds even to see. This is very simple for a 2700 player. But in fact, both h4 also, or bishop h6 as well, was also winning on the spot, like +5. But anyway, of course, rook c6 is correct. Queen takes c6. And now 3 seconds thinking, and black takes on c6. I mean, but the rook is hanging on it too. Okay, I understand if you have 3 seconds left here, but okay, the rook is hanging. So of course queen takes e2, it's instead would just just win a piece and the game immediately. Yeah, but queen takes e6 was played. Yeah, just to show you that the rook is actually was hanging. Okay, already strange, I would say, with a lot of time on the clock. And as you see, rook takes e6, queen takes e6, 13 seconds for 2 moves. In 13 seconds you don't see that the rook is hanging. Okay, happens. Let's say happens. d4 played, rook a6. Anyway, black is winning. Now, after 4 seconds of reflection, d takes e3. Well, but the rook is pinned. Why to give a tempi to white? I mean, taking on e3 immediately. You can play, for instance, rook e7, and finally nothing probably better than to play rook e1. Take rook c7, and okay, just technically winning position. You keep the pawn compared to what happened to the game. Also, knight d5 is winning, a bit more difficult, but still winning. But d3. Impossible to explain why to after rook takes e3 suddenly you are losing a7 pawn, rook b8, rook a7, rook b2. Now the position is already equal, it should be a draw. Rook f3 still, but again, a lot of time both players actually have still at this moment. Now g5, not so clear if g4 is a threat at all, but well, let's say possible. Check, rook a6, king g6. Now black is getting pinned. Of course, he has no chances to play for a win. He should be careful to make a draw already after this maneuver of the king. g4 is a good move. Takes. The idea is that now black is pinned on the 6th rank, and in case of rook b4 he has king h3. Yeah, and the pawn is not hanging on g4. Of course, black can still make a draw, just playing king h7 for instance here, and leads to a drawish rook endgame after rook takes f6. But let's assume he's playing for a win, even though the way black is doing it is really strange. He's playing rook b8 after 9 seconds of thinking. Not quite clear what is the idea of rook b8, because even let's say if a4, rook h8 check is not really a threat at all. Yeah, I mean, you can do rook h3 or king g2, whatever you want. So I don't quite get the point of rook b8. Rook f5. Okay, rook f5. White wants to play f3. Now still move like rook e8, rook e6 should be a draw, but after 9 seconds, rook h8 check. Why? I don't know. King g3. Rook h4, 2 more seconds, which is again just a very bad blunder. I mean, very simple tactics would win immediately. Rook takes g5 check, f4 check, king takes h4 resigns. Both players, I want again to tell, that has more than half a minute still here. So incredible amount of blunders. So rook h4. I mean, white didn't see it also, but even if simply f3 what was played, it's also not clear what is the point of rook h4. So now rook h6, another senseless move. I mean, what I mean that I'm not trying to criticize, I'm just trying to show how big is the level difference in level. I mean, this play is really, I mean, let's be objective. Yeah, again, it's 2400 level at best, actually lower. Frankly, so I don't know, I don't understand any single move. It doesn't really make much sense. So a4, of course, white is pushing. King h7, well, some cheap tricks. Knight e4 check is threatening, and rook takes x6. Of course, white doesn't fall into it. King g2. Now, okay, now these black's pieces are absolutely terrible. So white's black's only way to try to survive is to play back king, because of course knight takes g4 trick here. Obviously, a pawn will just promote. This is losing. So king g6 back, losing another couple of tempis. a5, rook h8 back. What to do? Not very impressive play. Yeah, I mean, a bit weaker treatment of this endgame than the game we just saw. Rook c6, rook b8, a6. Of course, black's position is getting critical. Rook b2 check, but again, still here half a minute for each player in this moment, about half a minute. Now some, well, sorry if I would sound arrogant, but this is a circus. I mean, king h3, how can you cut your own king? Because you, of course, obviously king f1 and king goes to c1, b1, very dangerous position for black, but king h3, cutting your king, okay, rook a2, king g3. Now actually just a draw already, because white's king cannot get out of this cell. But in black, well, you can just go bishop h8, bishop g7. Anyway, has zero winning chance, of course, in this position, but at least the draw is guaranteed here, because white simply cannot improve his position. So instead, rook a1 is played. I mean, just letting the king go out from this terrible place on g3, and I just cannot understand. This is, I don't know. I have no words. It's for any, as we say in these cases, that for such a move you would be dismissed from the pioneer chess house, you know, because we had in Soviet Union a lot of small kind of places which were called pioneer house, where you could study chess a bit as a kid. No, I mean, sorry, I'm joking, but this I just cannot explain. Of course, king f2, obviously king f2, king comes, rook a3, king e2. Okay, king starts to go. Actually, it's still maybe not easy to win for white, but king h7 was played, maybe a good practical chance. Now rook takes g5, white should be winning, but white took on f6, takes, king g7, rook b6, f6. Well, the position is on the edge, yeah, losing or not. You have to calculate variations here. Of course, rook b7 check has to be played, king g6, a7. Black's only chance is to try to get f5, and hard to say if white is winning or black is just in time to make a draw. I would rather bet on the first variation, but in any case, here the maneuver, white is playing king f2, king g6, king g3. I mean, well, okay. And now, again, with like 20 seconds still on the clock, Hans doesn't play rook a2 in this position. But how it's possible not to cut this king? I mean, it's just immediate draw after rook a2. Simply zero chance for white to win. You simply cut the king. So instead, rook a1. Okay, rook d6, rook a2. Finally, you cut the king. Rook c6, and you uncut the king. Rook a3. But well, I just stay king f7, or let's say rook e2, this, and now you can even just take king h6, king g6. White cannot improve, completely obvious draw. I mean, it's a matter of reflex just to cut this king. I mean, I don't know what was in white's mind to put the king back to g3 from e2, but suddenly Hans uncuts it, rook a3, king f2, king f7. Okay, now he understands situation becomes dangerous. King e2, king g6, rook b6, kind of zugzwang, but still it's actually an easy draw. King f7, rook b7 check, and now another move which well, which was shocking me, even though of course, yeah, there was not that much time left, but it's about reflexes, a basic kind of endgame skills, is you have to get your king to the center. I mean, don't cut your king. Okay, king e6 is still quite an easy draw. a7, king e5, just get your king to counterplay. Actually, it's a very simple draw, just a draw. There is no chance for white at all here. So instead, black is playing king g6. It's unthinkable move. I just don't understand how you can play like this, because of course a7, and now the last cherry on the pie is, instead of playing at least f5, I mean, okay, at least to create counterplay. That's obvious in 1 second, yeah, that it's absolutely only chance for black here. But instead, black played rook a2 check, king d3, rook a3 check, king c4. Well, and of course, king just went to b8 and the pawn promoted, and black lost. So I don't know what is this level of play. What is this? How is it possible, even in bullet, to play like this, especially after such fantastic games? So I mean, again, maybe it's possible. I've never seen it before, but it might be possible that player is very original, very strange way of thinking, you know. But it's really puzzling. It's really like I don't know what to think about it. And then as I mentioned already, after this game, very soon after this game. And by the way, the other two losses were not much better. Actually, by the accuracy, the two other losses were even worse than this one. So it's not like one very bad game. There were 3 games on the level of candidate master, yeah, and then again 2-8, because soon after this game, Hans won 7 in a row against 3000 opposition with the same time control, just half an hour after. Then suddenly he lost with more or less the same 3000 player, I think half to 5.5, 6 games, only 1 draw in 6 games, just to come back and to make 6 out of 7 again with the 3000 player blitz on chess.com. So yeah, it's kind of fascinating. It's original. It's amazing. I don't know what to think about it. So let's see how it's going to continue. But just you have to decide by yourself what is it, how does it work. But I hope that my material, my explanation will make it a bit more clear for you, will help you to to make your own mind what is it. Again, it's something, definitely what we can say is for sure is that it is quite quite an occasion. Hans in the world of chess, I mean, in the last many years, very original player, very strange player. Yeah, so let's see, let's follow him closely and let's see what is going to be next. I mean, I really don't know if he's going to be 3200 or maybe back to 2800. It feels like anything can happen. So hope that you understood now me, my position, that it was helpful for you, and all the best.